Hey guys, just thought I'd come on here to talk about childhood trauma. It's something that I have been spending a lot of time understanding, really doing a ton of research around it, and on a personal level have been going through myself. These past 6 months have been such a pivotal season of my life as I went back in time and really started to understand and come to terms and fully embrace the kinds of experiences that I had in childhood that continues to replay in my adult life. Just a quick plug that if you are interested in really understanding yourself and what's actually going on with humanity at both individual, societal, and systemic level, I would highly encourage for all of you to watch The Wisdom of Trauma by Gabor Mate. He really delves into this in a way that is so compassionate and really leaves you feeling understood, felt, and seen. But for me, on a personal level, has really just lit a fire under me to continue to support people in this way, because there is so much unnecessary suffering happening around the world right now. But today's topic really stems from a conversation I was having with someone whom I'm continuing to mentor. And her experience, I feel, is very relevant to many of us. I have certainly done it. When we, at an intellectual level, have a full understanding and even feel like we've forgiven the people whom we tend to have childhood trauma around. Typically, the way that we feel about our parents in particular are telltale signs that we are carrying childhood trauma. So she was just kind of telling me that at an intellectual level, that she has already forgiven her parents, but on a practical level, she is continuing to find herself being emotionally triggered or activated for when her parents do a certain thing. And so this is where the gap exists between intellectual level and practical level. It actually means that there is a merging that needs to happen. So what I was sharing with her is she, as an adult, she understands her parents and the way that she was parented, and she has forgiven them. But there is still the younger aspect of her that is wanting to feel validated and wanting to be tended to. Now, the part of us that gets triggered and activated is typically that younger aspect of us who experienced that childhood trauma, right? And so one of the most powerful things that we can do is what's called in positive psychology reparenting. So as the adult who knows that her parents really didn't do anything wrong, it wasn't intentional, we now have to meet that younger aspect of us and be able to create space for her to have the experience that she's having. Because guess what, guys? When we are 2, 3, 4-year-olds, we are experiencing our reality the way that, we're either guided towards or just for us, our limited capacity to understand. And so we can't judge that emotional activation as good, bad, or ugly, right? Because oftentimes when we, intellectually know that we shouldn't really be feeling this way, we tend to then shame that aspect of us, and then it sort of creates that same tendency, right? So say your parents, somehow you felt that your parents abandoned you. When we are not tending to that small child inside of us, then it's actually us that is making that child feel abandoned. And so there needs to be a convergence of the wise parent and the inner child inside of you, and for you as a wise parent, the adult in the relationship now, to be able to create space and say, you know what, I'm feeling this way and it's okay. I understand why, this younger aspect of me felt this way. And just to create space for the emotion to be fully released. And then from that space, also remind your younger self that we have changed, and perhaps have a conversation about what were the intentions. Sometimes we have to merge those two concepts together so we can actually have sustainable healing. I promise you guys, this idea of reparenting and inner child work is so powerful, because I have personally been in this journey myself, and when I still feel emotionally triggered, I tend to that inner child of mine, and I actually create space for her to have, to have a perspective, right? And I do a lot of journaling where I go back and forth between the wise parent as me, the adult now, and that child that got wounded. We're not here anymore, guys, to blame our parents. I mean, I just want to say this because it's so important to know that our parents did their best, and they probably parented us in the way that they got parented. And so a lot of this gets passed down from one generation to the next unconsciously. And so, but as the more aware person now in our lives, we have to do what it takes in order to fully let those experiences go, by acknowledging it and, creating psychological safety for that younger aspect of you to have a say and to fully experience what he or she experienced at that time. So I hope that helps, guys. And if you feel inspired, please reach out to me. I am supporting people now in terms of really being able to create this safe environment for you to navigate all of these experiences in a way that, again, is safe and is effective and powerful. So please visit me at espiritu.com and reach out to me there. There is a contact button there. If you'd like, you can also leave me a comment here. Love and light, guys, as usual, and from my heart to yours.